Yo, what should you name your landscaping business? Well, you can name it anything that you want. Go to LARA, the Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs, and do a name search in your state and see if anybody else has the name you're thinking of. But you can name it anything you want. I made a funny mistake of naming my business. Well, it's not a mistake because some of the biggest, I named my business my last name, Kalfas. Keith Kalfas, Kalfas of Professional Services. And although some of the biggest brands in the world are named after the person or the entrepreneur's last name, and they turn their last name into a brand, the reason I named my business my last name is because, well, first of all, when I started my business, the first couple months, I wasn't licensed or insured. I didn't have a corporation. I was literally just collecting checks. And some landscapers might not even admit this, but I think I might not be the only one. When the customer said, well, who do I write the check out to? I would say, here, close that door. I would say, Kalfas, because that was my name. And I knew that if I named the business my last name, well, I couldn't mess it up. This is my last name, right? So that's what I did. And then when I finally sat down with my accountant, who's a CPA and a business advisor, he was talking about the possibility of like lawsuits and piercing the corporate veil and things like that. You can learn about what I just said in Robert Kiyosaki's advisory series on Audible.com. The book is called Own Your Own Corporation, and there's another book, an addendum to that, called Run Your Own Corporation, and they talk about just having corporate protection in case of anything happening. So we made Kalfas Professional Services is what's on the trailer, on the business cards, the logos here. That's just the DBA. DBA means doing business as. So you can go down to your local city building and go fill out some paperwork and get a DBA. And then an EIN number, employer identification number. It's kind of like your social security number, but it's social security number, your person, you are like a corporation doing commerce. Well, I'm not trying to get too deep here, but when you have a small business, it creates its own EIN number, its own taxpayer ID number, and you want it to be, it will be, but it's a completely separate entity. So you name your business and it becomes its own entity, right? But I have a corporation. It's basically an LLC that's taxed as an S Corp, and it's under a completely different name, and that's the name where the money flows. That's the name where the customers write the checks. That's where we have our payment system, like Jobber Payments is set up and the customers pay. So it all comes through in a bank account through my corporation's name. And this is just the name that's doing business as, right? So you hear about these companies, you say, what does that mean? Like umbrella companies and holding companies, or people create another company that owns all of their landscaping equipment, that leases the equipment to this company. All that type of stuff is just layers and layers of protection. There's shady ways to do it that I can't advise you. I have no idea because I'm not trying to do any of that stuff. But then there's very, very legal, legitimate ways that people do this all day, every time. And it was actually set up that way in your benefit. You can learn about all that stuff from another book by Garrett Sutton and Tom Wheelwright. These guys wrote a book, Kiyosaki's advisor, called Tax-Free Wealth. And so the books that I'm giving you aren't exactly like what should you name your business. If you want to learn more simple stuff, there's a book called Success is for You by Dr. David R. Hawkins on Audible. Trust me, when I'm telling you about these books, I'm not just spitting out random books. Like, I'm telling you very specific applicable books that could put you a light year ahead from where you're at right now in your understanding. David R. Hawkins wrote a book called Power versus Force. He also wrote a lesser known book called Success is for You. And it's a man who's a wise connoisseur of consciousness that distills just some very simple things that will really get you thinking. Like, here's a funny thing. What should you name your business? Well, I wish I would have said this in the beginning of the video, but there's phonographic loops and feedbacks and different funny words like Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola rhymes, and it's a C in the beginning of the two words, right? Coca-Cola. M&M's. Look at the biggest brands in the world. They have these funny rhyming words. 7-Up. Pepsi. You can go on and think about that and start thinking how the most biggest brands in the world have things that have connotations and anchors to other things that you know. I could talk about this for a while. So don't name your business something people can't remember. Name it something that people can remember. Kalfas Professional Services. Why did I name it that? That's the name of my business. Because also in the beginning, I had no idea what the hell I was going to be doing. I knew I would be doing lawn care and landscaping, but I would do anything. I needed money so bad. I would paint your shed. I would power wash your house. I would pull your weeds. I'd go in the house and clean all the windows. I needed money. So I didn't want to call it landscaping because I needed money so bad. I was like, well, if I call it professional services, then I could do anything and change my mind whenever I want until I figure out what the hell I'm gonna do. And professional services isn't bad. It's professional. And the name on the side of like the trailer and stuff, like I paid a graphic designer. I didn't know any different. And they put my name real big. Kalfas Professional Services. Landscaping, tree trimming, window cleaning, like the services. You'd almost be better off putting lawn care and landscaping. Kalfas Professional Services, small, right? Because the first thing that people see at just a glance, just like when you're scrolling on YouTube or Facebook, that thumbnail grabs you quick. If it's some big long last name, the only thing that's gonna save you if you don't have like a rememberable name. I'm trying to rush, we're getting out the door. I gotta go do quotes, and I got a new guy coming. He's gotta fill out his job application and all his paperwork. And I gotta get this other truck up and running. So, the only thing that's gonna save you is branding, and branding costs time, energy, money, lots of commitment, which is fine. I know that in my city I've been around for so many years now, and we have so many reviews on Google, and we've done so much business that we just have a referral generation system that I don't have to even advertise or anything because the phone's just ringing. But you'd be better off having that business name all over the place and having it something super easy and rememberable that's unique that people won't forget. And it doesn't have to have the word landscaping in it. Think of Tesla. Right? Think of stuff like that. So anyways, what do you name your, what's the name of your landscaping business for the guys that have been here for a while? If you're already gotten started, let me know in the comments below the name of your lawn care or landscaping business. And so all of us, man, I need to calm down. Because I know this is the only shot that I have to make this video right now. I can't make it again. So all of us other people in the comments can read the name of your business. If there are people who are looking to start a business, we can learn. Please tell me the name of your business in the comments and any other comments you would like to drop.